Have you ever felt stuck, paralyzed by the fear of failure? That pit in your stomach, that nagging voice whispering you're just not good enough? Have you ever given up on a dream because you were afraid you wouldn't measure up? The fear of failure is a shadow that looms over so many of us, an invisible barrier holding us back from reaching our full potential. But it doesn't have to be this way. In this video, we'll dive deep into the roots of this fear, give you 3 actionable strategies to overcome it, and show you how to turn this crippling emotion into a springboard for success. Understanding the fear of failure is an evolutionary response rooted in our primitive brain. It's designed to protect us from danger, but in the modern world, it often limits us more than it helps. The causes of this fear are many. The fear of judgment from others, the fear of the unknown, the fear of wasting time and resources, but also our past experiences, the way we were raised, and the limiting beliefs we've internalized can amplify this fear. Understanding the origin of the fear of failure is the crucial first step to overcoming it. Only when we recognize its roots can we begin to challenge it and turn it into an opportunity for growth. Here are 3 strategies for overcoming the fear of failure. Number 1, acknowledge and normalize the fear. The first step to overcoming failure is to recognize it as a normal part of the human experience. Everyone fails, even the most successful people. The difference lies in how they deal with failure. Think about how often we say, "We learn from our mistakes." Fear is not a sign of weakness, but a natural human emotion. By acknowledging and accepting it, we can start to manage it constructively. Techniques like mindfulness, deep breathing, and cognitive reframing, which means changing the way we think about failure, can help us manage fear and turn it into a driving force. Number 2, redefine failure. The second step is to change our perception of failure. Instead of seeing it as a personal defeat, we can start to consider it a valuable lesson, an opportunity to learn and improve. As the saying goes, failure is just the opportunity to begin again. This time, more intelligently. Failure isn't the opposite of success, but a part of the process. Every mistake, every setback, teaches us something about ourselves and the world around us. Practical tools like keeping a failure journal, analyzing our mistakes, and celebrating even small progress can help us redefine failure as a stepping stone toward success. Number 3, act despite the fear. The third and final step is to take action even though you're afraid. Fear may never completely disappear, but we can learn to manage it and not let it paralyze us. Often the fear of failure leads us to procrastinate or avoid situations that scare us altogether. But inaction only fuels that fear. In this section, we'll show you how to overcome analysis paralysis and take action, even when you're afraid. We'll share practical strategies for tackling challenges in small steps, setting realistic goals, creating an action plan, and persevering in the face of obstacles. We'll also teach you how to build resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks and keep moving forward. Remember, courage isn't the absence of fear, but the ability to act despite it. And every time you act despite your fear, your confidence in yourself grows. Springboards for success. Let's learn from them and be inspired by their stories. Take Sylvester Stallone, for example. Before becoming the iconic Rocky Balboa, he faced years of rejection and financial hardship. He even had to sell his beloved dog to survive. But he never stopped believing in himself and his story. He wrote the screenplay for Rocky in 3 days and insisted on playing the lead role, even though initial offers excluded him. His perseverance paid off, and Rocky became a global phenomenon, launching his career and inspiring millions to never give up. And what about Walt Disney? He was fired from his first job as a cartoonist because he lacked imagination and had no good ideas. He faced financial ruin and harsh criticism, but he persevered, believing in his vision of a magical world. He created an entertainment empire that brought joy to generations of children and adults. Or Steve Jobs, who was fired from the very company he co-founded, Apple. He experienced a period of great uncertainty and failure, but he used that experience to learn and grow. And eventually he returned to Apple, transforming it into the innovative powerhouse we know today. His story teaches us that even the biggest failures can be opportunities for rebirth. And how can we forget Oprah Winfrey? She had a difficult childhood and faced discrimination and abuse. She was fired from her first job as a TV news anchor because she was unfit for television. But she turned her struggles into strengths, becoming one of the most influential and admired women in the world. Her story reminds us that our past doesn't have to define our future. These are just a few of the many stories of people who overcame the fear of failure and achieved success. Their experiences show us that failure isn't the end, but an opportunity to learn, grow, and become the best versions of ourselves. Let them inspire you. And remember, your potential is limitless. As you've seen, these are all very different people, but they all had to deal with the fear of failure. And yet, they overcame it with flying colors. Delve into their stories to find commonalities with yourself. The fear of failure is a common obstacle, but not an insurmountable one. With the strategies we've shared today, you can learn to acknowledge the fear, redefine it, and act despite it. Remember, failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the process. Every mistake is a learning opportunity, a stepping stone to something greater. Don't let fear hold you back. Embrace the challenges, learn from your mistakes, and keep moving toward your goals. Your full potential is waiting for you. Don't be afraid to fail. Be afraid not to try. If this video has inspired you, share it with someone who might need it. Subscribe to our channel for more motivational and informative videos. And remember, you're not alone in this struggle. Together we can overcome the fear of failure and create the life we desire. Thank you for watching.